we'll get on with this very, very important ceremony, and hopefully there'll be no further hiccups for anybody. To start with, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land that we gather on today and recognise the living culture of the Gunai-Kurnai people and their unique contribution they make to the region. Pay my respects to elders past and present and to the Aboriginal community. It is pleasing to see so many people here. We run a few of these each year, and they're a very important ceremony, very, very important ceremony. I, in fact, have also been through this myself as someone who originally came from overseas, from England. And it was important to me because I wanted to make sure I could vote and take part and contribute to the community. So it's an important step that you're all taking today. We will also be, I think we are live streaming this ceremony via webcast. That's happening. Thank you. The technical expert over there is telling me that's all happening. But before we formally commence, I'd extend an invitation for you to take videos and pictures as we go. So please don't miss that opportunity. Can you make sure that your phones are on silent or off, as the case may be? And can you also make sure, and I think you have, that your labels are clearly displayed for each of the people that are receiving this, or undertaking the process today. So it looks like everyone's done that. Other people in the auditorium today, can I ask that you wait until the national anthem has been sung if you need to leave, and light refreshments will be served at the end of the ceremony. Now, to get on to the official parts, I would like to acknowledge our Mayor, Councillor Natalie O'Connell, East Gippsland Shire Councillors, Councillor Reeves. I don't see any other councillors at this point. I believe Councillor Rotino may be making his way here, and also the Honourable Tim Bull, Member for East Gippsland. Well, thank you and welcome to you all. We do have apologies from a range of other people that can't be here today. From the Member for Eastern Victoria, Melina Barth, Jeff Borman, also Member for Eastern Victoria, the Honourable Darren Chester, the Honourable Jane Garrett, Edward O'Donoghue, and Miss Harriet Shing, also Member for Eastern Victoria. And there are a number of other councillors who are unable to make it today and send their apologies, including John White, the Deputy Mayor. Today's citizenship ceremony is being conducted with authority of the Minister for Home Affairs in accord with the Australian Citizenship Act 2007. Presiding over the ceremony is, as I introduced before, our Mayor, Councillor Natalie O'Connell. This ceremony completes the legal requirements prescribed by the Citizenship Act, which requires each new citizen to make a pledge. It also provides an opportunity for us to welcome you and celebrate your decision to become Australian citizens. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Mayor Councillor Natalie O'Connell to address you. Thanks, Natalie.
Thanks, Anthony. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to commence official proceedings by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we gather today, and I recognise the living culture of the Gunai-Kurnai people and the unique contribution they make to the region. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and to the Aboriginal community. I'm delighted to welcome you all on behalf of East Gippsland Shire Council, particularly our candidates who will receive their Australian citizenship today. I extend a warm welcome to my fellow councillor, Councillor Mark Reeves, and also our local member, Mr Tim Bull. Taking up Australian citizenship is a serious step. It is a symbol of your commitment to the country which you have chosen to make your home. Just as importantly, the conferment of citizenship is a symbol of Australia's commitment to you, as it is the step which makes you full and equal members of the Australian community. The Parliament recognises that Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the Commonwealth of Australia. Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. The Parliament recognises that persons granted Australian citizenship enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations. by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, by sharing their democratic beliefs, by respecting their rights and liberties, and by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. However, no one who becomes an Australian citizen is expected to renounce their cultural identity. The customs and traditions you have grown up with are a part of your heritage. It is important that you maintain these links with your past, for this cultural mix is what makes Australia a unique and special country. Today's ceremony marks the final stage in your decision to become an Australian citizen, the greatest compliment you can make to the people of Australia. Australian citizenship is the common bond which unites us all, and Australia respects the diverse cultural inheritance of its citizens, and we are honoured that you have chosen to become an Australian citizen today. With citizenship comes responsibility as well as rights. The greatest responsibility is to participate fully in our community to strengthen the freedom and openness which makes Australia unique. We in East Gippsland are absolutely delighted that you have chosen to make your home in our shire, and I am sure that everyone here today will agree with me when I say that it is truly a great place to live. I'll now read a message from the Honourable David Coleman, MP, Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs. Today you become an Australian citizen. We are immensely proud of what we have achieved as a nation, and we welcome you in joining us. Our history and culture has been forged over thousands of years, first through Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and more recently from people from all corners of the earth. Australia has succeeded as a nation by embracing and defending our national values. We believe in freedom, in the rule of law, in democracy. We believe that all people are equal, regardless of their cultural background, gender, race, and religion. We are a resilient nation. We have overcome world wars, depression, drought, and flood. We stand with other strong democracies in helping to defend and protect hard-fought freedoms. By committing yourself to Australia today, you have chosen to embrace our nation and its values. Like so many millions of people throughout our history, you have decided to take on the rights and responsibilities of Australian citizenship. On behalf of the Australian Government, I congratulate you on reaching this very special day. It's now your responsibility to join all of us in building an even stronger nation. That concludes the Minister's message. So on behalf of the councillors of the Shire of East Gippsland and all its people, I wish you good health, happiness and prosperity, and may you achieve your personal dreams for your future here in Australia.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. To our candidates for Australian citizenship today, as an Australian citizen, you are entitled under Australian law to the same rights that are enjoyed by people born in Australia. By becoming an Australian, you are showing that you want to have a say in Australia's future. The Australian Citizenship Pledge calls upon new citizens to make a commitment of loyalty to Australia and its people. Candidates have a choice of making an oath or an affirmation in pledging their loyalty as citizens of Australia. I now invite the following candidates taking the oath under God to please stand in your place. Mrs. Mariam Hertz. Thank you. Mrs. Rachel Silby. Mr. Aaron Perez. Miss Donna Smith. Madam Mayor.
Please repeat this pledge line by line after me. From this time forward under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you. Please take a seat.
Thank you, Natalie. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our newest Australian citizens. I would like to now invite the Mayor and Tim Bull to please come forward to present a gift from Council and certificates, I believe. There will be photo opportunities here as well. I can call them up. Mrs. Mariam Hertz. Mr. Aaron James. Perez. Sorry. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry. And Mrs. Rachel Silby. And finally, Miss Donna Smith. So please join with me again in congratulating them all on becoming Australian citizens. Well done. I would just like to acknowledge Councillor Joe Rotino, who's now joined us, so welcome Joe. And I would like to pass over to the Honourable Tim Ball to say a few words.
Thanks very much, Anthony. I won't hold us up for too long. I'm probably the only thing standing between us and morning tea. But I acknowledge Natalie, our Mayor, also Councillors Reeves and Rotino, both former mayors. So we've actually got the council brass here this morning. So fantastic to have you here, and also acknowledge Anthony as a CEO. Anthony's a relatively new CEO to our region, and he's doing a fantastic job. And it's good to have you here, mate. It is very, very good to have you here. To our candidates, congratulations. It is a big day. Today you actually officially become Aussies. So that's what it's all about. And to the family and friends who've come along to support our candidates, thanks very much for coming along. As Natalie touched on, we live in a very special place. East Gippsland is a great place to live, and we have a great community here. We have our fair share of challenges over the journey. We're in drought at the moment, but we go through periods of fire and flood, and they're the times when our community really comes together. As with all citizenship ceremonies, we often have a number of candidates who are varied in their backgrounds in relation to where they've come from. We also have situations where people are relatively new arrivals, and we also have candidates who've been in our community for quite some time and are already valuable contributors to our community. So whichever category you fall into, well done on taking this step today. It is a big day. You should go home and have a wine or a champagne tonight to celebrate the step that you've taken today. And I really encourage you to fully become engaged in our community. Enjoy where you live. We do live in a very great place. And it's not only great to have you as Australians, but also as East Gippslanders. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. This morning, we have witnessed our new Australian citizens pledge their commitment to Australia and its people. Many Australians have not had the opportunity to do so because they were born here. Participation in an affirmation ceremony is voluntary and has no legal effect, but it is a symbolic way to increase awareness of what it means to be Australian and helps us build pride in being a citizen of this great nation. I now invite all Australians who wish to publicly affirm their commitment to Australia to be upstanding and join in reciting this affirmation. Those who are not Australian citizens but still wish to declare loyalty to Australia may join in after the second line. So can I ask you to please stand if you wish? The words are up on the screen. As an Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey. Thank you. Please remain standing and join with me in singing the Australian National Anthem, Advance Australia Fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the official proceedings of the day. So welcome again to all our new Australian citizens, and please join us for morning tea. It's been a long day already, for morning tea, and thank you.